Hi teachers and staff, Richard Rogers. I'm a middle high school educational technologist, and I want to show you how you can install your own printers. To get started, there are two things you need to remember. The first thing you'll need to remember is that the initial setup of this program, it's a browser-based application, which means you'll launch a browser to make it work. The browser that you must use is Internet Explorer for the first time use. If you use Chrome or if you use Microsoft Edge, you'll probably be asked to find an administrator to enter a password to complete the installation of the app. After the app is installed, it should work from any of the other browsers, but the first time you use it, you will need to use Internet Explorer. So please keep that in mind. The second thing you're going to need to remember is the name of your printer. That's right, your printer has a name, and it generally will reflect the room number that printer is in. So as an example, if you wanted to connect and install the library printer, you would have to remember that printer is in room 300, which is the library. If you were trying to connect to the printer that is in building 919, the copy machine on the second floor, the room number that printer is in room 613. So, armed with the knowledge of what your printer name is, and the fact that you have to install this app, the Printer Add app with Internet Explorer, you should have no trouble installing the printers that you need for the school year. So let's go ahead and get started on that. Your first step is to go ahead and log onto the computer and go to the desktop. Now make sure you're in the network. This won't work at home unless you're on VPN. But let's assume that you're at work and you have logged on. Your second step is to go to the taskbar and open up the Windows icon in the lower left corner. From there, you have two choices of launching the app. You can slide the little scroll bar down to the P section where you will find a printer installer folder. This little folder has a lot of stuff in it. When you expand that folder, there is probably about 10, 12 programs in it, but it's the very first one in it you want. It's the one called Add Printer. Now, if you click on that, the program will launch in the browser that is your default browser for your machine. My default browser is Chrome. Now, it will work for me in Chrome because I've already installed this once before. When you launch it, if it opens up in Chrome or Microsoft Edge, you're going to get an error message here. But that's okay. To overcome that error message, all you have to do is take this website address right here, drag and highlight it, and then you can hit Control-C for copy, or you can right-click and select copy from the menu. Then close out the browser, Chrome or Edge, and go to Internet Explorer. Now I have Internet Explorer bookmarked at the bottom of my taskbar. If you don't have it bookmarked there, go to the search feature in Windows and just type Internet Explorer. And there it is. It's right up here at the top of you can drag that out and drop it on your desktop. You can right click it and save it to the taskbar like I did, or you can just click it and it'll open up here. When it opens up, you have to go to that website address that you copied. So I'm going to click here in the URL, and I'm going to drag and highlight the address that's there, because it's not the right address. I hit delete, and I'm going to hit Control-V to paste, or if you don't like those shortcut keys, you can right click and you can hit paste. That's the same website address that showed up in Chrome. and then I just hit enter, and I'll go to the same Add Printer app, except this time I'm in the correct browser. Okay, now that we're in the browser, our next step is to find our school. Now, theoretically, you can find any printer in DoDEA somewhere in this hierarchy, this tree over here on the left side. I don't recommend you do this, but if you wanted to print a letter out on Director Brady's printer, I guess you could do that if you knew what room number and building he was at in DoDEA headquarters. But I recommend we stick to Zama Middle High School. So let's go ahead and open up Pacific, the PAC folder. Zama Middle High School is in Pacific East, so you go into that, you expand that folder. Zama is in the Zama Kanagawa Housing Complex. It's a strange name. I don't know why they just don't call it Zama Middle High School or the Zama Complex, but you need to be in that folder and expand it. Once you do, there are 3 other folders there. One's for Arn, one's for Lanham, and the last one's for Zama. So click on the ZAMD folder, and then you get a populated page of all printers in the school. Now, as you look through these printers, you'll see that the printer name contains the letter ZMHS. Obviously, that means Zama Middle High School, and followed by a dash. The next 4 characters will identify it as a high school printer for room, and then the 3 numbers of that room. So H300 would be the library. Now, after that, the ending of this printer name, -371, is a number that identifies that printer, but the CA is a big hint. That means color. That's going to be the copy machine. And if you drive over to the second column, move over to the second column, under the driver column, you'll see that the name of this printer is a FX Apios Port 6, and if anybody's familiar with the brand name of that copy machine, that is the brand name. So you can get further clues as to which printer it is by looking at the driver that's being used. It usually has the name of the printer. Looking at the one below that, which is in room 304, that's a Kyocera. The third one is a Dell, etc., etc. So between all of that, you should have no trouble finding the printer. Now, if you don't see the printer in the list, you may need to ask Mr. Filer about it. There could be a reason that printer is not online. It might be off. I'm not sure why a printer would not be in a room. It could be that you have more than one printer in a room, so you'll have to study these carefully to see which one. So I'm going to try and install one of my printers that is in my room, and I'm going to select, I'm in room 608, so I go to ZMHS-608 and I select that printer there. I then get prompted. It says, do you want to install the printer? Yes, I do. I hit yes, and then I get this little message box here, which is at the far right, top right corner, and it goes through a series of steps. It puts a check mark after each step is successfully executed, and then finally I come to this final message which says, in this case it says, it has been successfully installed. I generally never have a problem installing a printer. It's easy. I guess that there are circumstances where it may not install properly, and it would tell you so if that happened. This is all you need to do to get this printer installed in your room, and I know, particularly at the beginning of the year when teachers are interested in getting lesson materials printed, syllabus printed, and other important documents, having a printer available even during the teacher training days, the early return days for teachers before school starts is critical. This is how you can do it. If you choose to go buy a service ticket and ask Mr. Filer to install your printers, He may just go ahead and tell you to do it this way. He'll send you an email instruction with instructions on how to do it, or you may end up having to wait a while because he and I both are going to be pretty busy at the beginning of the year. And so why don't you give it a crack this way first and see if you can get it done. If you can't, let me know. I'll be happy to come by and give you a hand. Just send me an email, call me, stop me in the hallway, but I'll be more than happy to come and help you. Okay, that's all I have for now. You take care, and I hope you have a great school year. Bye.